Hail Crom Barbarians, it's Ricardo and welcome back to Conan Exiles. At this point in time, this is Conan Exiles Age of War. Great game, really enjoying it. This is all going to be about defeating the Witch Queen, who, to be perfectly honest, I thought would have been a little bit more difficult than what she was. And then, we're going to go and visit Razmas Quarters. So there you go, we picked this up at the Forgotten City of Xel-ha, the residence of the Witch Queen. Now, I didn't even know the Witch Queen resided here, to be perfectly honest with you. It's located towards the west side of the map, bit of a trek to get through jungle and what have you. You are going to encounter apes that walk like men, as Conan says, and also big old whopping silverback gorillas. I'm tooled up with, I think, some pretty basic heavy-duty armour, and a slashing weapon, and a steel hammer. I've got a thrall with me, who I've managed to drag all the way up through the ranks to about level 9, and I'm currently about level 50-ish, something like that. Nothing too fantastic, I don't think. I certainly haven't peaked out all my stats. So, I'm playing on a RTX 3080 Supreme, 10GB card with an i9. I've got everything set to ultra and I'm getting absolutely fantastic frame rates, and I do marvel at how this game is really well put together. So here we are, we're going through this very sort of like archaic sort of temple or palace area into the location. Right, so we're here. What do we do? So I've got my horse with me as well for added cover. Up the steps, and there's somewhere glowing and a huge mask on the wall. And if you can just make out on the screen, right in the middle, sat on the throne, there's the Witch Queen. Oh yes, we're here to give her a little bit of mischief. That's exactly what we're doing. So the horse is just going to have to follow us. There's two whopping great big statues. You just know they're going to be one of those things that just come to life. You just know it is. Anyway, there you go. Green flashing light comes out of the Witch Queen and animates one of the statues. Good stuff. So the thrall has already started getting to work. No problem. We both have the same weapons, slashing weapons that we've got from an undead warrior on a bridge. It is a legendary weapon, I believe, and it's doing great damage as well. And the thrall is doing a really good job of occupying this titan, so to speak. So, a little bit of slashing. I've already defeated him. Good for him. The queen has made him go away. Brilliant. And now, this is something I wasn't expecting. Lasers. Yes, people, frickin' lasers. Lasers coming out of the masks in a sort of a grid fashion, an alternating grid fashion. Quite a good effect. If they hit you, you don't really incur that much damage, to be perfectly honest with you. My armour absorbed a lot of it. Even the horse and the thrall didn't take too much damage. Once you've had several pulses of that, the Witch Queen goes, oh, okay, we'll animate another one of those massive stone statues. Got to get your value for money, see. And it is a good effect, and we're getting to work on getting there. They've got like a stamping attack as well, which if you get caught for, you will incur a bit of damage. But as you can see, I'm really putting him to justice. Got my steel hammer out now for a bit of thumping action. Oh look, and my follower is indeed leveled up. The lasers are still going off, but to be fair, I didn't even realise they were going off while I was playing. I think once you get to a certain level and you've got a thrall to a certain level, you're okay. So the force field that is protecting the Witch Queen is still up. She's giving us a bit of dialogue. She's disappeared and now come in for a bit of combat herself. She's a big old unit, fair dues. A 3-skull opponent. The thrall is giving as good as it's getting. We're giving him a good old belting with the hammer. And I was surprised how quickly, just with this tool, and this tool is nothing special, it's a steel forged warhammer, I was able to get some of the damage down on this, basically, world level enemy. So, that's the Witch Queen. She's a fighter. And thump, we've got her down. There it is. Look at that, we haven't even lost 25% of health. Now, she carries a mask and a key to Razmas Quarters. Fair enough. And if you go up towards her throne, approach the throne and press E, then you learn Lemurian royal armour and all the rest of it, which is quite good. So you get to be able to craft some other stuff that you probably won't use. All in all, not so bad. The mask is an end of game item if you want to remove your bracelet, I believe, but I haven't got that far in the game yet. So with that, now we're going to get ourselves over to Razmas Quarters and use the key. There's a little bit of text and voice acted lore to have here, so let's see what it's all about. So we destroyed the Witch Queen and we have the key to Razma of Shem's quarters. Now these are in Sepermeru. Now that's in the vicinity of the map, B6. Top left hand side of the map, and you can see I've indicated there where the area of her quarters actually are. When you get to Sepermeru, it's quite simple to find. You can't miss the building. What is a little bit difficult though is you can't get through the door, and you've got these keys, yes, but you don't use the key, not as yet in the current game. To get in, despite all your best efforts of pushing and kicking, all you have to do is press E and the door will swing outwards. Same to leave as well. So there's Razma. She's got quite modest quarters. What we're going to do now is enter in a little bit of story and talk. I'm not going to talk through it. We're going to let Razma do the talking. But we will indeed come back and discuss what we've found out, and other items as well.
I wanted to thank you. The woman that you met in those ruins, that was not me. She was ancient and wicked, and powerful. You almost killed me in that city. I cannot begrudge you that. Such a terrible, awesome creation. While I wore the mask, I was somebody else. I was something else. Such power and knowledge. I stood on an island in a vast ocean. I could see across the water in every direction. And that ocean was time. I am sorry. It is difficult to describe. All I have are fragments. Her memories evaporate from my mind like mists above the oasis. If you have questions, you must ask them quickly. My mind is leaking, purging itself of all traces of that woman. She knew so much about these bracelets we wear, about the giant kings and the ancient war, about the darkness that lurks in the volcano, and... Just ask, friend, before I lose the nerve to speak. The bracelets, she made them together with the giant kings. The bracelets were imbued with the power of 7 artifacts. The Witch Queen's mask, the diadem of the giant kings, the tears of 2 races, the shining trapezahedron, the star of the champion, the heart of the sands, and the black ring of Set. The bracelets were created to translate any language for the wearer, to allow swift movement around the Empire, and to allow communication and recording through the lore stones. It was only later, when the war began, that the Queen suspected that the Giant Kings had included a death weave in the sorcery. Any who tried to flee their control were simply killed by the curse wall. Her people, the Lemurians, were the remnant of a desperate race. Her memories before the exiled lands are vague and confused. Flashes of an island kingdom, sinking as the world heaves. A people being subjugated with fire and sorcery. An escape, and a long, treacherous journey into the West. I'm sorry, it's fading so quickly. I remember a daughter, Tellith, and a great betrayal, and a grandchild. She was a mother and a grandmother. She knew what it was to be a slave, and didn't want that for any of her people. She would stop at nothing to prevent it from happening again. Can you blame her? Her mind shies away from two things: her grandchild and what her people found in the volcano. Her grandchild was not truly human. Zoltar? He was a hostage or something else. I'm sorry. For her, these memories were laden with emotion. I see a beloved daughter, and a hated foe, and a child that brings hope. It is so very unclear. As for what her people discovered at the volcano, horror, anger, and disgust, and fear. This is the only memory where the Witch Queen of Lemuria felt fear. I truly don't know what I will do now that I have my freedom. Conan has offered to accompany me north, back to my home city in Shem. My palace awaits me, and the pampered life of a princess of Shem. But my enemies, the ones who sent me here, they also await me there. Perhaps instead, I will travel with Conan a while, see the world by his side. He is formidable, yes, for a barbarian. You almost killed me in that city. I cannot begrudge you that. Such a terrible, awesome creation. While I wore the mask, I was somebody else. I was something else. Such power and knowledge. I stood on an island in a vast ocean. I could see across the water in every direction. And that ocean was time. I am sorry. It is difficult to describe. All I have are fragments. Her memories evaporate from my mind like mists above the oasis.
So Razma has done a really good job of boring you witless about stories about the mask, and you can go back and revisit this text anytime you want in the game once you've done it. There's nothing else to pick up or collect in her quarters. A little bit disappointing, to be perfectly honest with you. Although going towards the door, again, the same rigmarole as you got to get in to get out. You climb up the wall side of things, there you go, and you've got it, Relic Hunter Armor and Relic Hunter Epic, should you want it. Well, it is indeed better than nothing. We checked around all the surrounding areas, nothing else to pick up, nothing else to do except for having a damn good look at Sepermeru. Anyway, I've been Ricardo. Thanks very much for watching this Conan Exiles walkthrough on how to defeat the Witch Queen and then gain access to Razmas Quarters and learn about all the lore about the mask and the bracelets. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.